All right, I'm going to hop right into this topic, and that is when the narc's treasure chest of secrets fails to keep you obsessed. What does this mean? You know, when the narcissist decides to get out of something with you, they decide that the game of playing you, the game of deceiving you, the game of leading you on is no longer serving them because maybe they found another surefire thing in their mind that is going to work for them and only them, essentially. Or maybe there is a past supply from their life that has been waiting in the wings, that has been trying to beat down their door to get back to them. And they think that they're going to have a fresh new day with this person. They're going to have a fresh new beginning. And they're going to give that person an offer. It could be something like that. Or just simply, the narc fears accountability. The narc fears the idea of saying sorry. They fear the idea of actually facing the problem with you. When they were leaving out the door, most likely, you were trying to get answers. You were trying to ask them why things were like the way they were. You were trying to ask them, why did they change? Why did they flip so hard at certain key points in your relationship with them? And some of them will not give you any answers. Some of them will just dismiss you and say, hey, what happened is what happened, but not willing to explain why the happening even occurred. Not even explaining their actions. They just leave you to deal and sort with the pain and misery all by yourself, and they have no apologies about it. But in the back of their mind, they think that by withholding that information, by withholding that resolve from you, is a good way of keeping you stuck on them to where it can, possibly feed their sick egos and possibly keep you stuck in a limbo, a state of being obsessed with them, constantly checking on their lives, constantly trying to see, on how they're doing, trying to see who they're with, and trying to see how their new relationship is progressing. But then something happens within you. You get clarity that this person is honestly fake. This person is just not really who they said they were. This person was feeding mirages the entire time. They weren't feeding you anything of substance, but just more so surface level things that do not serve you, but only serve them and their own personal needs. So you do the best thing for yourself. You decide to cut ties. You decide to not put yourself in the position to be tortured by trying to constantly watch what they're doing, trying to keep tabs on them, because you understand the pain is just so terribly intense. And, you realize that social media, as far as when it comes to them, it's not the answer. You will not find any answers worth anything that has anything to do with what happened between both of you and them. You won't get it. They won't offer it. So what they're hoping you will do is stay in a state of limbo, basically. Basically, you didn't make it to heaven. You didn't make it to hell. You're just in a place right in the middle, stuck in confusion, stuck in misery. But then something happens. It fails. And what I mean by that is that you decide to close that door. You decide to cut off that narc television. You don't want to look at what they're doing. You don't want to know what their future is going to hold. You don't want to know anything about it. But to give yourself some peace, just simply trying to run from it and trying to forget that ever happened will not serve you either. Because that's a narc move, to try to just forget the past and not try to address anything. No. This usually results in you having to become a cold case investigator or detective to piece the layers and piece all of the pieces that they decide to withhold from you and keep from you. Instead, you're looking at the past and looking at how they treated you at certain points, how they would change their personality depending on who came in the room with you two, and how they act whenever the both of you were alone versus how they would act in front of, most likely their family, because they most likely had you on their turf most of the time. But you notice the differences, the key components of their personality changing, especially right after they just get some mysterious text message or whatever the case may be. And they don't show you, of course, you're not trying to ask, you're not trying to demand their phone or anything, but you did notice a slight change in how they would treat you soon after that text message, probably from somebody that's trying to, get at them, trying to convince them to go ahead and leave you and come to them, different things like that. But if you just look at the course of how those big mega highs with them and then those big mega lows, and then you'll realize that the low points seem to be way more persistent than your high points with them. It almost seems like they were using you as an emotional punching bag. So once you put all that together, it makes sense why things might not work out. Maybe they were trying to get you to do something and trying to influence a reactionary abuse type of method to where they're trying to get you to do something that doesn't make you look so great. But here's the thing. Whenever they were being inconsistent with you, you were trying to find the goodness in them and you were more than willing to forgive them. But whenever you have made a mistake, they hold it against you forever. And they use that as their, chip to go ahead and clip off the entire relationship with you and then blow it up even bigger than what it even is. Oh, hey, good morning, Johnny. Hey, good morning. But yeah, they use that to go ahead and leave the situation and to leave you in this bad guy state of mind. Like you're a terrible person. No one can trust you. But actually, it's really them who cannot be trusted worth anything. You show mostly consistency towards them and love and compassion towards them throughout the course of the entire relationship. For the most part, they are the ones who are withholding things. They are the ones who are withholding secrets, withholding truths. So this so-called treasure trove or treasure chest of secrets they think in their mind is so important to you no longer has the consistency of importance anymore. Yes, you may reflect back on things, but that's because you have learned from your past. You have learned from the hurt and heartache, and you decide to maybe use it in ways that can help other people around you, people who might be going through the same thing or might find themselves in something. But if you can give them some type of advice, if you can give them some type of viewpoint of, hey, I've been there before. I can see where this is headed. I think this person's going to do that. Just watch out for that. And then sometimes they may even come back to you and say, hey, you were right about that. You see, you're using it for good. And are you using the relationship to get underneath somebody else? No. Are you using this as a way to punish other people that might come into your life afterwards? No. But this is what the narcissist is so used to doing to people. They punish people for what past people have done to them. And it's a constant get back. But here's the silly, weirdest thing about this narcissist. They may have been hurt by somebody from their past and thrown away or whatever the case may be. And then they find some innocent person and then basically become the very thing that hurt them and treat that new person like crap. But here's the weird thing. The narcissist will run back to that same exact person who hurt them in the first place, who told them they were nothing really, and go and try to seek another renewed beginning with that person. It's weird. But that's not what you do. You are a person that can go through heartache and pain and learn from it. Learn from what has been done to you and use it for a personal, positive experience. I shouldn't use the word personal, but use it as a positive note for other people who might want to listen to you, who might find some type of motivation when they hear your voice. And you can tell them like, hey, I've been there before and you're not alone. But also too, one thing I want to tell you is that after the discard, when the narcissist is done with you, They decide to abruptly end everything and not give you no closure, not worth anything, not real closure, maybe a half-assed sorry apology, but nothing sincere. And most likely, this conversation is going to be done through text messaging with no emotions added into this. And they think that this is enough to keep you stuck in limbo forever and obsessed about them, waiting on their shelf in their harem garage, waiting to get maybe another opportunity, maybe. But when they look at that shelf or they open that damn garage door and they see the past victims who are so giddy to talk to them, but then they get to your spot and they just know for sure you're going to be there, right? But it's empty. It's blank. Your spot is vacant. There is no one there. You're not there. And then something happens. The tables flip. The tables literally flip. Now they are the ones going on your social media. But guess what? They realize they've been blocked. They realize that you're not there. So they have to create a new profile. Maybe it's not just about you. Maybe they just had to create a new profile, period, in order to make something happen for themselves. So they did it. And, of course, the curiosity is to come and check and see what you're doing. And something quite unexpectedly is happening. They realize that you're not still the same sad person. You're not even the same person that they left you like from years ago. You're someone different. You're someone who has compassion, love, and more intensified confidence than they ever had seen beforehand. They see other people looking up to you in some way, shape, or form. They see other people do value your words. The same type of words that they devalued beforehand, that they made you feel like was nothing. They made you feel like it meant nothing. They made you feel like you brought nothing to the table whenever it came to them. But instead, they're seeing you do bring something to the table. In fact, you are the fucking table in some regards. And they're amazed by what they're seeing. You are not the quiet person anymore. You are not the child in the corner. You are the person at the dinner table serving up lessons, serving up food for thought for people. You are doing things now that are so alien to anything you ever did before, because in the past when they knew you, you didn't know your passions. You didn't know your gifts. You didn't know anything about that. All you knew is that you wanted to be with them and you wanted to make them happy. That's what you knew. And they took that and said it was nothing and threw it in the trash, baby. But now they're thinking that you were going to sit in the trash and wait for them, but you're not waiting for them. You're not waiting for them. You are the star in your own life. You used to think of them as such a high regard. And you used to think that their treasure trove of secrets was so valuable, but you realize that trust is nothing more than a bunch of fugazi items, costume jewelry, half-truths, and complete darkness. And you don't want anything to do with that treasure trove of theirs anymore. It's nothing. It's shit as far as you're concerned. You have your own treasure trove of true valuables. And guess what? Those valuables are coveted by a lot of other people. People that understand the importance of your light. And they want to sip off of it. They want to be a part of it. You would be amazed once you fully unlock what you're trying to do. When you unlock some of your gifts. And you're not even using them to the full potential maybe just yet. But it will come. Your day will come to where you can fully unlock those gifts and use it into the positiveness into the world. Insert that positivity. Insert it. And a lot of times you can insert positivity without even lifting a finger, but just by simply opening up your heart, your mind, your spirit, and opening your mouth to let people know what's on your mind. But the narcissist never sees that coming, because they were so used to dealing with a bunch of low vibrational ass people most of the time. Low vibrational people that don't do anything but except do stuff that always benefits them. And I'm talking about benefits them solely, mainly in the 3D realm. Nothing in the 5D. Nothing that helps people truly embrace happiness, love, compassion, understanding. You used to think that understanding and compassion was a trait of the narcissist, but it was not. Those are nothing more than components used to deceive and make people go into a completely different state than what they were supposed to even be, bringing people's vibrational levels down to their level, which is despair, sadness, and loneliness. But you do not take on those traits. You do not claim that. You claim truth, positivity, light. That's what you claim. Not that BS and stuff, that old counterfeit bullshit tactics that they would use to keep your mind submerged in darkness. No, you are not going to be submerged in darkness. You are not going to stay in darkness. You will ascend and go up into the sun. You will go up to where there is a bunch of sunshine ready for you, and you absorb that positivity. You absorb the love and compassion, and then you expand it out to everybody else that's around you, if they're willing to accept it. And if they don't want to accept it, then go on. Get going. But don't worry about the narcissist's treasure chest of secrets. They will not serve you. They're going to do nothing for you. They won't do anything. It's meant to serve them. The shadow and the light and that darkness, that's their traits. Oh, hey Shantae, what's up? Good morning. But before I get too far carried away with this message, I think everybody seems to get what I'm trying to say here. I'm trying to say that the narcissist's treasure trove of secrets is nothing more than an artificial type of scene that they have played out with many of people. It's not really special. There may be some key components that's customized for you of what you're looking for, but it's all done with pretense. It's all done with false promises, false presumptions of what they are going to promise to do for you. But you will see as time goes on, within 2, 3 to 6 months, you will see that this person will fail at doing this. And the reason why you can see it fail, because you're not like everybody else that they've dealt with. Most people can stay submerged for a long time. And I'm talking about a weak-minded individual, a person that is truly terrified of being alone, that feels they have to have somebody else in order to stay up. But that's not you. You don't stay down by yourself. That's not true. You can stand up on your own. And of course, if you got some good people behind you, some spiritual guides, not in a romantic sense, but simply a loving and understanding, compassionate sense, then you can do anything. You can accomplish anything. You do not need another person to keep your bed warm, basically, is what I'm trying to say here. The narcissist depends on this. They depend on dummies. They depend on people that are just as low vibrational as them. And that's why they can go longer with certain people, because guess what? Those people are cut from the same cloth, the same BS, the same pettiness. They are in that same game plan, but you were never in that game plan. And that's why the narcissist resents you in some way, but at the same time, they love it about you. It be like that sometimes, people. It be like that sometimes. They try to say you are obsessed. Weeks, months, years ago, they said you were the obsessed one. But now the tables have flipped. You are no longer obsessed and you are focused on your own path. They are the ones now becoming obsessed and reflecting on the past heavily in a negative way. But that's their business. Your business is to ascend and keep rising on up, baby. Okay? That's what I have to say for this video. I hope everyone has a lovely day. Bye-bye.